Okay, Chanakya, can you hear me well?
Loud and clear.
Okay, and you can see my screen as well?
Yes.
Great. Okay, so good morning, everyone. My name is Sunny. Um, I take care of Veeam pre-sales in Reddington Gulf, and today's we are going to talk about some of the key capabilities of Veeam version 11, um, how it can be incorporated in today's world to protect your data availability, and what are the customer challenges when it comes to protection of data. So let's start with the challenges which we faces in 2021 when it comes to customer side. So first and foremost challenge for the customer is like whatever applications, whatever data they are running in their environment, that has to be available 24 by 7. They don't want to afford a downtime wherein their application suffers. So for them, zero tolerance becomes a major challenge wherein the availability of data should be there, right? So this is the foremost challenge which customer sees in their environment. Next challenge would be to keep their data safe from ransomware attacks, right? So in today's world, everybody talks about the ransomware protection. How you being a customer can protect your data from ransomware attacks? This is the most challenging part of an enterprise. Then you need to meet the compliance and retention goals. You need to keep the availability of your data. You need to have a compliance. You need to have a retention of your data whenever it is required. Then the next one is recovery despite storage and staff constraints. No matter how short you are on the resources, how short you are with the staff, but you need to make sure that the data which you are which you as an organization is producing is recoverable whenever it is required, right? So these are couple of challenges which you need to take care in 2021, because everybody is going digital and the growth in the data segment is huge. But you as an organization need to protect that data. You need to take care of that data, and there are lots of other challenges which comes along with the data which you need to take care as an organization. So we as a Veeam, how do we tackle these challenges? How will help you to overcome those challenges? This is what we are going to talk about today. Your end users can't wait for IT to catch up, right? So for an end user, it is always a necessary requirement that the applications which you're running are always available as and when required. They cannot wait for anything, right? Because your business suffers. So for you as a partner, or for you as an end customer, you need to find a solution which is secure, which is 24 by 7 available, and which is like far reaching data protection platform wherein you can have multiple level of protection, multiple level of availability, multiple level of security, with the help of which your solution is available, and your data is available for your end customers. So what to do, how we can achieve it, how we are kind of getting into that platform. So with Veeam backup and replication, right? Most of you are already aware that Veeam does a backup, Veeam does replication. But with the introduction of V11, Veeam becomes a 4-in-1 solution, which kind of gives you an overall protection of your environment with the help of storage snapshots. The guys who are aware of the Veeam storage snapshot is a technology which can be highly useful in backup technology. Then we do a backup of your all three workloads, which is virtual, physical, cloud. Then we replicate your data. And with the introduction of V11, we also give you a nearline zero RTO and RPO using CDP for VMware environment. Everything from one single centralized console. You don't have to buy multiple products. You don't have to go to different consoles. Everything is policy driven. Everything is being automated once configured. Everything is being taken care by Veeam backup and replication, right? So with, again, Veeam becoming so aggressive with the R&D team, they are introducing loads of new features with every product which comes almost every, I would say, every 2 quarters. So with this product we have again almost 150 plus new enhancements, which gives you a flexibility to have a powerful backup, which includes again all those three platforms: cloud platforms, security platforms, and some of the automation capabilities which are inbuilt in it, right? So if I talk about these enhancements, they are huge. So what we are going to do, we are going to today talk about some of the key enhancements which Veeam had done, which are useful in your data protection, how you can enable it, how you can do it. So let's talk about the key capabilities of V11 which Veeam had recently introduced. Out of those 150, these are couple of capabilities which are one of my favorites and which are very useful also for an data center. The first and foremost is the continuous data protection. Everybody was eagerly waiting for it. It was in the news from like, I guess, from good amount of time. Now after doing lots of R&D on this product, Veeam had finally launched the product called CDP, which, as the name suggests, called continuous data protection. It is available for VMware platform. So with CDP, we are kind of doing a synchronous replication wherein, the real time data can be replicated for the virtual machine from source to DI using VAIO filters. So this technology is a very nice technology. It's again a separate policy based tool which is again on the Veeam backup replication, which gives you almost a flexibility to achieve near line, maybe near about 0 seconds of RPO and RTOs, right? So this is very good tool. Then the again second part is which everybody talks about nowadays is the ransomware protection. We were already there. We have lots of tools to provide you ransomware protection, but with the introduction of V11, we have added more capabilities when it comes to ransomware protection. So it's called, now we can create a Linux based hardened immutable backup repository, right? So what it means that previously we were able to do it on NFS, we were able to do it on SIFs, but when it comes to Linux, we are kind of giving you a flexibility to have your backup data on an immutable backup repository running on Linux platform. So this is again another layer of protection which has been added when it comes to data protection inside Veeam. Then when it comes to the data storage, we were already there in in the cloud data world. So the cheaper storages which were available like Azure Blob, Amazon S3s, we are already doing the backup copy on those cloud data shares. But with the introduction of V11, it's more cost effective. Now you can also keep a copy of your data in the most cheapest storage, for example AWS S3 Glacier. You can create a policy and you can keep your compliance and long-term data checks on the S3 glaciers. Similarly, when it comes to Azure, it's Azure Archive. So instead of using tape environment, instead of using a disk based environment, you can utilize this cheaper storage is available on the cloud. So this is the new enhancement which has been come in V11. Then we have expanded the instant recovery portfolio. The guys who are aware of the instant VM recovery processes, we have done instant recovery of a couple of new applications, as well as the partners who are interested in selling backup and DR as a service. We have introduced lots of new features in the VCSP world, which called Veeam Cloud Service Providers. It has a new VCSP console. It has new availability of data. All those things are available in VCSP. So all in all, these are the new features which are available for you as an end customer, which are available for the partners to explain these to their end customers, wherein they can utilize all those features from one centralized console. All those things are available with the V11. The guys who are already on V10 and have an active support, they can upgrade it to V11 and utilize all those features. Um, so first and foremost is the CDP, right? What exactly is CDP? As the name suggests, continuous data protection, right? Continuous means we are making sure that the data loss which you have is almost near zero, right? So the latest state point in time to deliver the resiliency your business demands. So with this, we'll be able to recover your data as and when required on VMware platform. So if you wanted to know more about this, there is a complete session on the CDP which is being given by Rick Vinover. So that also you can go and see technically how it works. If you want us to tell you how it works, you can send me an email. We can have a detailed discussion on this. So to summarize this, it's a very nice tool built for VMware tool wherein you can achieve a nearline CDP performance. Then again, the reliability, the ransomware protection I have already talked about. You can create a Linux based immutable backup repository with the help of which you can have a reliable ransomware protection. So the data which you are keeping in your backup repository, that data will be encrypted, that data will be immutable with the malware protection. So this is a new capability which has been introduced in the Veeam. uh, Again, a new archival tool in the Veeam, which is your S3 Glacier or Azure Archive, almost gives you 20 times cost saving when it comes to cloud billings. And also, it gives you a life cycle management of backups. I have already talked about this. Ultra low RTOs for database and NAS. With NAS, when we launched V10, we have giving you the flexibility of taking a backup of NAS environment using Veeam CBT and CFT format. So similarly to in V11, what we can do, we can do an instant recovery of NAS as well with the production of SQL, Oracle, and NAS using instant VM recovery. The guys who are not aware of the instant VM recovery process, instant VM recovery is a process wherein we are booting up your files from the backup storage and giving you an GUI view to recover your data as and when required, right? It's an instant process. So now we have done it for SQL, Oracle, and NAS also. So this is a very nice tool, a service provider console V5. The guys who are in the service provider areas who are selling managed services for them, it's a very nice tool. It has lots of new enhancements. This tool is being used for automation, for multi-tenancies, for role-based access management, for service providers. With version 5, there are new capabilities which are included, wherein you can install or wherein you can automate the Linux agents also from service provider console. Previously it was only being used for Windows based agent, right? And again, along with it, you can also have multiple, a new backup data engine, a new instant recovery engine. All those new features are there. So these are the key capabilities which we discussed. And now we have another capabilities, like some additional capabilities which may be useful for you in the backup recovery world. So we have talked about the backup, we have talked about recovery, we have talked about the cloud data management. So if you are following Veeam, so with the introduction of V11, V11 is Veeam backup replication new product, right? It's a new version of Veeam backup replication. But along with it, Veeam had also introduced a couple of new products in the cloud world, which includes Google Cloud Production, again, new protections for your Azure and for your AWS environment. Along with it, we also do automation using Veeam Availability Orchestrator. We also replicate your data on the virtual platform, hypervisor to hypervisor. We also gives you a virtual lab environment wherein you can have an access of your backed up data and you can use it for your just a minute, guys. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Yeah. So this is what is replication, then data reuse, the sandboxing environment which we talk about, then the security part, right? How secure your data is. Veeam uses encryption also at the job level, at the repository level, and also the storages. So these are some of the additional capabilities which are available in Veeam backup and replication. What are the new enhancements you as a Veeam which you see? So there are some new capabilities, some new enhancement which has come up. So if you see in today's world, there are something which Veeam had changed when it comes to licensing based edition. Now you guys are already aware that there is something called Veeam universal licenses, if you see, right? So when you buy a Veeam universal licenses, as the name suggests, in universal licenses you get all the capabilities which Veeam gives, which Veeam provides. But when it comes to socket based licensing, there are a couple of features which are not available, right? So like in socket based licensing, you don't see AWS and Azure plugins. If you are using a native backup tool for AWS and Azure and you want to manage it from the same Veeam backup replication console, there are certain plugins which are available which you cannot integrate it with socket based licensing. Same like instant recovery for NAS, it's not available in socket based licensing, whereas in universal licenses it's all available. Similarly, the new enhancement agent for Mac, which has come with this V11, which is not available in socket based licensing, right? So these are a couple of key differences between the socket based licensing and the universal licenses. Just to give you a brief, what is universal licenses? Universal licenses are, uh, as the name suggests, these licenses can be used to back up any environment. When I say any environment, it can back up your physical workload, virtual workload, and your cloud workload. So there is a calculation which happens. So with this calculation, you'll be able to back up everything. So VUL is one license with the help of which you can back up everything. You don't have to buy any other license, right? Now, some of the value added solution which Veeam provides in the market. One is the Veeam availability suite. Most of you are already aware what is availability suite. Availability suite is a combination of two products, which is Veeam backup and replication plus Veeam one. Veeam backup and replication is the main product which does backup and replication of your data center, physical, virtual, or cloud. Whereas Veeam one is a monitoring tool which gives you monitoring, reporting, analytics of your data center based on certain reports. It almost has somewhere around 200 inbuilt reports, which helps you giving forecasting, capacity planning, analytics of your environment, and so many other reports, so many other dashboards which you can see using Veeam one, right? So if I combine both the products, it is called Veeam availability suite. And if you don't need a monitoring and analytics, you can only buy Veeam backup and replication tool also. This Veeam one is it comes with VUL also. It comes without VUL also. So it's up to you. What do you want to see? Then we have another pack called Veeam DR pack. Veeam DR pack is a combination of three different products along with Veeam availability suite, wherein we have Veeam backup and replication and Veeam one. We also add Veeam disaster recovery orchestrator. right? Veeam Disaster Recovery Orchestrator is a product. It's an advanced level product which runs on your Veeam backup and replication on top of your Veeam backup and replication product, and it gives you a next level of DR automation, wherein you can have lots of failover plan, you can see RPOs, you can see RTOs, you can create your failover plans and all those things, right? It's basically an automation and testing of your DR environment, right? So these are the two solutions which you can think about when it comes to Veeam, for your end customers. How you can make sure that the data which end customer has is protected 24 by 7. Couple of other value added solution which Veeam provides for SMBs is Veeam Backup Essentials. So if you see, Veeam Backup Essential is built for an SMB which has smaller footprints. It has a limitation till 50 workloads, means till 50 universal licenses or maximum 6 sockets. Again, it's the same product, but it has a limitation till 50 workloads. So in Veeam Backup Essential also you get Veeam Backup and Replication plus Veeam 1. So you can utilize this product for anything, right? So if you know that you are not going beyond 50 virtual machines or 50 works or 50 physical servers, this product is suitable for you. Then this is again a new product called VCSP. This is for managed service providers who wants to sell Veeam backup as a service, DR as a service. It is pay as you go model, which is being very popular nowadays with the partners, with the customers, wherein you can have the entire portfolio of Veeam. Uh, it's kind of MSP offering. So Veeam backup and replication, Veeam 1, Veeam disaster recovery orchestrator, Veeam cloud connect, Veeam service provider console, all these things are available in Veeam, right? uh, Now, uh, cloud data management, if you see, recently Veeam had uh, become a cloud data provider, a cloud data management company which protects your data in any environment, right? So how we do it? If you see this whole slide, this is entire Veeam portfolio, which gives you a holistic idea what Veeam does. So if you see the first tab, which says cloud. So if I talk about Veeam, Veeam protects AWS environment, whether you want to do it using native approach or whether you want to do it using agent based approach. Same goes with Azure. We have a product for Azure also which backs up your Azure environment. We can back up your data onto IBM cloud. We have a product to back up your Google cloud. We also do protect the entire VMware cloud director environment. So this is your entire cloud portfolio which can be managed using one single console which is called Veeam backup application, right? Then we have another product which protects your SaaS based application, which is Office 365. So in Veeam, we have Veeam backup for Office 365, which protects the entire Office 365 tenant, which includes Mailbox, OneDrive, Online SharePoint, Microsoft Teams. Then we do an application aware backup for your application, which includes SQL, Oracle, SAP HANA, Active Directory, Microsoft Exchange, etc., etc. Then recently, Veeam has also acquired a container-based backup tool, a company called Kasten, which takes a backup of Kubernetes. It's a very nice tool. Lots of new enhancements will you will see regarding this area. Then your virtual environment, we are already there in that virtual environment since ages. We protect VMware ESXi, Microsoft Hyper-V, Nutanix, EHV. Everybody is aware of it. So it's an agentless approach doing a backup. Then we do physical server backup, Windows based backup, Linux backup, IBM AIX backup, Oracle Solaris, and then the NAS, right? The NAS, which was introduced almost last year when V10 was enabled, right? So all those five parameters which you see, Veeam can do a backup. So one cloud apps virtual physical can be done using one centralized console called Veeam Backup Replication. For Office 365, we have a separate product. All these product except Office 365 you can use in sandboxing, data reuse, right, which is called virtual sandbox, virtual data lab. You can create your data lab and you can have an access of your data, and you can utilize that data for your testing, for your R&D and all. Then the second part is the orchestration with Veeam Availability Orchestrator. You can orchestrate your data, you can create DR plan, you can create automations and all. Then using Veeam one, you can do monitoring and analytics. It will give you a very nice view of your environment. Using backup and replication, you can do a backup and you can replicate that data, right? And then using storage APIs, you can have an access of your backed up data using RESTful APIs, which Veeam provides. You can use it for data mining, big data, etc., etc. So in overall, if you see the whole slide, this entire slide gives you a complete visibility of your backed up data, reusability, security, ransomware protection, and availability. So with Veeam, you can have an availability of your data as and when required. So I was very quick with the overview of the Veeam, which we have given. I'll just give you a slight, demo kind of overview wherein the new enhancement which Veeam had given will be shown it to you. So just give me a second. Let me share my screen to you guys, which has uh, the V11 link, V11 software involved in it. Just give me a second, guys. Let me just share the screen. Uh, 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 just a minute. Yes. Yeah. So it is just coming up. Let it come. It went on sleep mode. So in the meantime, guys, if you have any question, you can ask me. I'll just give you a brief overview of the VBR V11, the new capabilities which have came up. Uh, okay, so I guess it is up. Yeah, I guess you can see my screen. Okay, so this is my Veeam backup and replication V11. The guys who are already aware of the console of Veeam backup replication tool, this is how it looks like. There is a new tool, a new tab which you can see here, which is your main, main option wherein you configure the CDP policies. Here you can see. So to enable your CDP, you need to run some steps on your vCenter, which is a VAIO filters, which you need to install. All the steps are available on Veeam Help Center. So if you have a vCenter, you follow these tasks, you can create a CDP policy. Just for your information, the configuration of CDP policies are different compared to replication jobs. Backup jobs and replication jobs are the two jobs which you configure in the traditional Veeam backup and replication portfolio, which is a kind of asynchronous approach. We do a snapshot based backup in the Veeam backup replication in the virtual environment. When it comes to replication, we again do a snapshot based asynchronous replication. But when it comes to CDP for VMware environment, it's a synchronous replication, right? Using VIF filter, it's a real-time replication between source and DR. right? So this is where you configure it. So this is a lab environment, so that's why I don't have that policy configured, but here you can configure it. I'm just showing you the new capabilities, the new enhancement which Veeam has done, right? When it comes to a ransomware protection, right? Here you can configure something called Linux based hardware repository. So if you see direct attached storage, here you see a Linux based storage, right? So in this can be a local server storage or locally mounted NFS storage, so you can do an immutability of your backup. This is the new enhancement which has come up. Along with it, in the object storage world, wherein we were previously only doing an Amazon S3 and Azure Blob, if you see, a new option has come up which says S3 Glacier, including deep archive for AWS environment. We have added a Google Cloud storage, right? Both standard and nearline storage to keep a copy of your backup. We have also added in Azure Azure Blob Storage, Azure Data Box. So these are the deep archival storages of Azure, which are all added in the new V11 version, right? So these are a couple of new enhancement which has come up in the V11 part. And same way, some new backup engine for the instant VM recovery. The file share was there, wherein you can create a file share, restore it using a Veeam's own format. These are couple of new enhancements which Veeam had created. I have just given you a brief overview of it. It was very quick, guys. If you need a deep dive technical discussion, or some more clarity on the features of Veeam, you can send me an email at any point of time. We can come back to you. Uh, if you want to see a technical demo also, some of the demos are available on Veeam Pro Partner portal also, which gives you a step-by-step offerings how to do this, right? So if you have any questions, you guys can ask me right now. If you don't have, we are almost done with the option. So there is one question with Unes which says, can you show secure job options? Okay, so yes, security is also one of the part. Let me share my screen. Right, send me whatever questions you have, then we can discuss more this in detail. So I can see I don't have any other questions. So guys, thank you so much for your time. Hope everybody is safe, and see you very soon. Thank you so much, guys. Bye bye.
Thank you so much, Sunny, for the session. Thank you. Thank you for joining.